an infomercial where it's like, oh, the spices keep falling. Only things I really use. So you see me, you've seen the Tetris, snacks, moved, these one over here. I don't need 40 coffee mugs. I'm not an expert. Who the hell has that much space to dedicate towards spices? Friggin' spices. Not sponsored. Horribly utilized. Where did you put the scissors? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Katie. I'm going to take you through my kitchen because I just finished decluttering and organizing the whole entire thing. Now, if you're following along with me, I've sort of declared at the beginning of the year that this is my year of simple, and I'm doing a bunch of mini challenges throughout the year, each month. And March is my declutter month. And now I know that the month of March is not over yet, but I figured I have so much decluttering and organizing to do within my house that it might be good if I broke this up. So today is going to be focused on my kitchen. And then at the end of the month when I do my recap, I'll walk you through my beauty organization, which is mainly just in my bathroom, and my closet, which that's not so much about organization for me. It's more about a clean out and a massive declutter. But I'll walk you through all of that and then maybe give you updates on how this has been going and how the organization of the kitchen has been, because everyone uses the kitchen, where not everyone uses my beauty and closet area. So that's just me maintaining it. This is everybody. So that'll be good to kind of maybe give you a little update on how this has gone. This was a big clean out of my kitchen, but I also realized that it was organizational as well, which I hadn't really planned on really deeply organizing and buying new components to organize things in drawers and cabinets and whatnot, but that's what ended up happening. And this isn't me trying to tell you like, this is how to do it. I'm not an expert. So for me, this was a big declutter, and I went ahead and kind of did that first. But the organizational piece, I think, is what's gonna help this really maintain itself quite nicely, because when everything has a home, and in some cases when everything actually looks really pretty, it makes you want to keep it that way. One of the most popular videos that I have on my channel is a video that I did all about decluttering and the mental headspace to get into when you're going to declutter a certain space. In that video, I took you through 3 areas of my home: my skincare drawer, my makeup drawer, and my kitchen utensil drawer. So that drawer has maintained itself so nicely for over a year. So whenever I'm cleaning out a certain space, I try to literally like use that drawer as my inspiration, and I think, why does this drawer stay this way? Why has it maintained itself so nicely? And the 2 reasons are, 1, because it is majorly edited down to only things I really use. And the other thing is that because I have very specific like organizational containers and little like cubes, everything has a home. So it's very edited down and everything has a home. So that drawer is not necessarily going to translate to a cabinet or like a cookware drawer or something. But I do think about, is this edited down to only things I really use? And does everything have a home? But this right here is 4 pretty small pull-out drawers that were horribly utilized before. So the first drawer right here formerly was, and still is, a junk drawer. And I actually have 2 of them in this kitchen, but I feel like you can never have enough junk for a drawer. But this is way better utilized, and I bought these containers from Bed Bath & Beyond. They are my favorite containers. I have a ton of them throughout my house. But they're just like basic plastic containers. I found like tons of old stamps that I didn't know I had in the very, very back here. I can actually find everything, and I won't have to yell at my kids anymore when I'm like, where did you put the scissors? And they're like, it's under all the shit, Mom. This drawer I did not do a thing to, and the reason is because my kids have a junk drawer. It's so bad. It's still bad. This is all the little like bows and Happy Meals, toys, and random sunglasses. So these 2 drawers right here were formerly, yet again, like more junk. This one had like stuff that I was using, like notepads and markers and random stuff that honestly could go upstairs in our office, and so I've relocated all of that. And then this one down here was basically taken up by like one large tablecloth for when my kids want to paint. And so I relocated that because that was just literally one tablecloth. But I decided to make this snack storage. Now, all credit goes to the blogger Living with Landon. I saw this, she posted a picture on like her Insta stories about it. and I felt like, my snack storage is always like a heaping pile of crap on top of each other. So I just kind of tried this out as like a trial and error for a week to see if it would work, and it totally did. So I do have to replenish it a little bit, but basically I had these plastic refrigerator containers in our refrigerator that I had bought last year when I was trying to organize the refrigerator. So I didn't really like these for my refrigerator, but luckily I was able to just reuse them for this. I just have taken all of the snacks that my kids will eat and put in their lunches or in their, snacks for the day at school. And so this holds everything really nicely. So granola bars, Cheez-Its, I've got Lara bars, raisins, and crackers here. It's also really easy to see, like, at the end of the week, like, okay, I need more Cheez-Its and I don't need more granola bars. Like, those are totally fine. So it's shocking, like, how much packaging I was able to get rid of, and that keeping all of the snack storage in here, for some reason, it frees up so much space in our actual pantry. I was actually at Trader Joe's the other day, and I was like, these look cool, I might pick these up. And then I was like, you know what? There's no room in those drawers for that right now. This is where this goes. They're not going into the pantry where stuff can get piled all on top of each other. Because over there, it's much easier for me to be like, this will just fit on top of here. And then it becomes a big mess. So this has been one of the big game changers that I didn't expect within the kitchen. Okay, so we'll come to the other side of the sink over here. So this, I didn't really change this drawer at all because this is mainly like Ziploc bags and foil and whatnot. So this, kind of based on the packaging it's already in, maintains itself quite nicely. This drawer right here is all of our dish towels and some cleaning stuff. This is one of those like dry mats for if you're like, washing a pan or something and you put it right there. So I use this like every single day. A room spray that I love from Williams-Sonoma, Gardenia, it's the best. This drawer before, because I didn't have like an organizational thing, it was just one big deep space. It was a mess. I'm embarrassed to show you what it looked like, but it was basically like a pile of stuff. So I went to Bed Bath & Beyond just looking for some type of a organizational thing, and after a little bit of looking and asking someone, I was able to find some hidden within the closet storage. And then because this package came with a few extra parts and pieces for this like organizer, I was able to repurpose them down here for all of our like plastic storage area. This cabinet right here is nothing too exciting. It's all of our kids' like plates and bowls and cups and all that stuff. So I basically went through and organized everything, and that's got rid of a lot of stuff that we weren't using, and so that is a lot nicer. This up here is literally like Tito's and Jack Daniels. It's just alcohol up there since no one can reach it. We're not going to declutter that. We're not crazy. This right here is probably one of the biggest changes, other than the snack storage, to our kitchen. So this was a spice rack that was a toppled mess. It was one of those stupid 3-tier things, which can function quite nicely, but not when you have a ton of those little tiny spices that you stack on top of each other, and then you try to go grab one, and literally it falls onto the chicken that you're prepping down below, and then it's like a big salmonella mess. Anyways, it was literally a disaster, and I'm not kidding you and making it sound like an infomercial where it's like, the spices keep falling. No, the spices fell every time I opened this drawer, and it was so stupid. I saw this picture and I was like, that is the kind of spice cabinet I want. But then I quickly laughed at it because I was like, who the hell has that much space to dedicate towards spices? Well, it turns out when you declutter everything first, you might be surprised that you actually can dedicate that much space to spices. I was able to dedicate 3 whole shelves to lovely, organized spice bliss. Okay, I moved the camera so that you can see lighting-wise better, because you need to see the glory that is this spice storage, which again, I take no credit for. Someone else figured it out and is amazing. Now, I will admit to you that this is kind of a pricey solution for something as simple as friggin' spices. But let me tell you, it has made such a difference to me in the way I feel about cooking, which I love and I do every single day. So I think this probably all in was about $100, and here's why. I had to buy 3 of these Lazy Susans, which were like $5 each. These little gorgeous, they're so sweet. These gorgeous, I'm looking, I'm like, please don't tell me you spelled onion wrong on the P-Touch machine, which I did have to buy a P-Touch machine. I didn't have a label maker, so that was about 20 bucks. And then these little containers, I think were $29.99 for 12 of them, and I bought 2 sets, so I have 24. So probably that's all about 100 bucks. It's a solution that I'm so happy about, and I'm fine to have spent money on that because this is, like I said, one of the biggest problems solved, and I'm so excited. So the one thing that's really cool is because I have the 3 dedicated shelves to this one right here is kind of all of the savory spices that I use a lot and quite frequently that I would use to make like taco seasoning. I make homemade taco seasoning all the time. So I'm able to like pull this out and just, you know, everything is right here, which is nice because before I was always like digging deep in. And then the second one up is kind of, not all of it, but most of it is things that you would use for sweets or for baking. And then the top one is things that I really don't use very frequently. When you open these up, you can fit a tablespoon measuring in here. And so that was really important to me because when you buy these, you sort of forgo the option of shaking, but this might not be the most hygienic thing, but I did make sure you can pinch. So there is enough space for you to like put your fingers in and, you know, pinch a little spice if you need to. This brings me all the joy into my kitchen. Moving on from the spice drawer down to here, this is my lovely utensil drawer, which has not changed in a year. It is perfection. I love it. Okay, this down here is just pots and pans. I actually did buy a shelf liner for this. So that it's like kind of a grippy shelf liner. This right down here didn't really need to be organized. It's just like larger stock pot. This is our garbage, and which I don't know if you want to see that, but pull out garbage. You would think that whatever you put on top of here might smell and be disgusting. It's actually not the case. This I didn't need to change at all. This is just some pot holders and stuff for barbecuing on the grill in the summer. And this was previously kind of another junk drawer. It had some coupons and some chopsticks and some random stuff. I've sort of reorganized it with, again, some coupons, but they're in a little container now. This down here is just our crock pot, and we have a waffle maker over there, a glass drink dispenser that I rarely use, but it fits perfectly right there. Okay, I'm gonna try to show you this weird little corner of our kitchen because this is where I have the Keurig, some lemons and limes that we use for things, so that's just tucked over here. These 2 cabinets over here are our main food storage besides our fridge, and they go back quite far. This one is a really shallow little area that honestly, it has changed the most. This thing has changed over to cookbooks, Keurig storage. I actually had the spices here for about a week. Right now, I have it just as cookbooks at the bottom, all of like the oils and vinegars and all of that stuff in the middle. But what I was able to do with my coffee storage, this was previously all of my baking supplies. So like flour, baking soda, sugar, chocolate chips, all those types of things. I was able to move everything in here into my pantry storage over here because of the snack storage. So you see me, you see in the Tetris, snacks moved, these went over here. So I was able to free this up for my coffee storage. So I found these little plastic bins at Home Goods, and what I have in here is all of the loose K-cups. The Maxwell House Breakfast Blend is my K-cup of choice if you're curious. The Javalia lattes are my favorite. So anyways, that goes right here. I've got my omega-3s, which I love, my vital protein collagen peptides, which I love, not sponsored, honey, and I've got all different types of tea. I'm a big tea drinker, and so I've got all my teas and all of that here. Up here, these 2 areas are just all of my actual coffee mugs. I've really edited my coffee assortment down. You know what? I don't need 40 coffee mugs. I'm the only one who drinks coffee. That was a really big like revelation last year. This right here is all of that to-go coffee storage. I love these from Cheeky, from Target. They have like all the parts and pieces because they have the lid and the little sleeve and all that, so it's nice just to have that all in one container. And then I don't even know what's up here. A jar of birthday candles and molasses, random. This little drawer right here is not as exciting. It's mainly our NutriBullet is in here, which I love. I've got some different tea mugs, and then I've got just different vessels, glass vessels for vases and whatnot up here. And then I have a big container of like cookie cutters, sprinkles, and then wax paper and things that I would be using up there if I were baking, which doesn't really happen a lot, so it's fine that those are all the way up there. These two areas right here are our main like dry food, like pantry storage. And by the way, these Skinny Pop popcorn cakes, maple brown sugar, highly recommend. Up here is, M&M's hiding for the kids. I've got a Breville juice maker that I love, but it's huge, so it's just nice to have this tucked away up here. I've got a spiralizer, a hand mixer. Over here, this is just cereal. A big space up above and behind the cereal, but it's just empty. So it really feels nice that like not every single thing is filled. Okay, so not much to see up here. This is all of our dinnerware and drinkware and stuff, and I kind of, because you can see it, it's like, it doesn't get cluttered. It is what it is. Down here didn't really get massively reorganized. It just kind of got decluttered. Down here I have a bunch of like bowls and, you know, mixing bowls, casserole dishes, serving trays, some cutting boards, those types of things. And then over here, this was actually a huge mess and it just needed to be kind of edited through. But I've got like disposable dinnerware, disposable silverware that my kids and my husband used for lunch, some more casserole dishes. This was a crazy, gross junk drawer that I went through and reorganized and made room for everything, and found a Easter card from last Easter. And now it's very timely because Easter has come around again. I'll turn you over here real quick and show you. This is on the side of our island. That's like our stove is right over here. This is our microwave, and down below we have like all of our baking, like bakeware stuff. All right, so that is my newly organized and decluttered kitchen. The two biggest takeaways for me in this kitchen, if you want to try something new, were for sure the snack storage and pull-out drawers and getting rid of all of the packaging. That was a big win. And also that spice storage, which again, I feel like that's a little like extravagant to spend $100 on organizing your spices. But when I think about the big picture of how annoying it was for me and how lovely it looks now, and I want to keep it that way, I feel like it will no longer be a problem ever again. So I'll see you in a couple of weeks after I've gone through my bathroom and my closet. Oh, I literally have not started it yet, so I'm not really excited about it, but it needs to be done. We're gonna get rid of a lot of stuff, people, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you again in another video real soon. And I'm in my kitchen, which seemingly is not different at all from like the outside, but just the knowing that they're all clean and organized and there is like space in the drawers, like things aren't crammed, every nook and cranny is not full, is so like mentally freeing. It feels different. It all looks the same, but it feels different. The soul and what's within this kitchen has been changed.